Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll start with Article 21 of the Constitution, and till yesterday we are done with Article 20 of the Constitution. The Article 21 of the Constitution talks about protection of life and personal liberty, and it simply says that no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to procedure established by law. So there are two three things are coming in my mind. First thing is that what is this life? Second question is coming, what is this personal liberty? And third thing is this, what is this procedure established by law? So who can talk about life in the context of Article 21?
Sir,
Yes,
so right to life means the right to live with dignity.
yes, yes. So basically, in simple term, we'll say it's not about only the existence which animals are having. It's more than that. Living with dignity, one should have freedom and speech and everything. Okay. And what about personal liberty?
They're having no restrictions, like means you are not forced to do something. You are free to acquire anything, to do anything.
Anyone
Is it the
else?
one mentioned in the preamble of thought, worship, freedom?
Okay. And what about this procedure established by law?
Anyone is compelled by the executive laws, not by the what we can legislative action.
Okay, so I think we should discuss on this point only procedure established by law. And what I'm going to do, first of all, have you heard about the case name AK Gopalan versus Union of India?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a very important case, AK Gopalan case. So actually, what happened in this case, that this was the case when the interpretation of Article 21 took place. And the question was, what happened in this case, that there was a act called Prevention Detection and Detention Act of 1950. It was challenged in this case, and the question was raised that whether Article 21 envisaged any procedure laid down by a law enacted by a legislature, or whether the procedure should be fair or reasonable. These two things were asked in this particular case, and there were several contention which were made, and these contention are very important because later on they became reality. So, contention from the side of petitioner was that law in article includes principle of natural justice. Did you hear what I say? What I said?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It is saying law in article 21 includes principle of natural justice. So I want to ask, what is this principle of natural justice?
So it's a it's a universal in nature and can be applied to everybody, whether executive, legislative, or judiciary. And it includes three principles. First, no man shall be punished unheard, and no person shall be judge of his own case. And
Mhm.
authorities must be act bona fide, that is, in good faith without any partiality.
Yes, so these are the three principle of natural justice. Anyone has anything to add?
Sir,
Sir, as comparison to procedure established by law, the judiciary cannot challenge the intention of the law, but in the due process of law, it has to be fair and reasonable.
No, we were not discussing that thing. We were just talking about this particular thing.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Sir, natural justice is not including that the law is what we talk that law is should not be unreasonable and
So
unfair or unjust.
actually, right now we are not coming on the conclusion whether it is included or not. It was the one contention which was made from the side of petitioner that this law in article includes principle of natural justice. It was said from the side of petitioner. So that's what I said, and I wanted to ask what is this principle of natural justice. So Imja has explained it. Okay. Second thing, they have said the reasonableness of law of preventive detention ought to be judged under Article 19. तो हम लोगों ने कल जो रीजनेबलनेस का और इट शुड बी रीजनेबल एंड फेयर ऑल दिस रीजनेबल रेस्ट्रिक्शन वी हैव डिस्कस्ड yesterday. So he said that this preventive detention act should be judged under Article 19. Third thing, he said that the expression procedure established by law introduces introduces in India the American concept of procedure, due process. And what due process means? What does it do? It's
Sir,
a
it
American.
protects. Yes, sir. It protects not only from the executive impartial action, but protects from that executive and legislative arbitrary action.
So in this, the court usually examine the law to see whether the law is fair or not. The court will
Yes.
examine the motive behind making the law.
Yes, exactly. So what happens that this due process enables the court to see whether the law fulfills the requisite elements of reasonable procedure or not. It's all, that's all, nothing much. Okay. And what happened in this case that all these things were rejected by the Supreme Court. Supreme Court said no, 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 all these things we will not accept all these things. And Supreme Court has said that this actually principle of natural justice is very vague and arbitrary. We cannot use these things. So they did not accept it only in AK Gopalan case. What they said that procedure established by law would mean the procedure laid down in an enacted law. So they have said that, and two more things they have said that our uh, constitution maker did not want to include this due process things. That is the reason that initially it was in the constitution, later on it was deleted from the draft of the constitution. So these two three contention Supreme Court had given, and Supreme Court said but one thing what Supreme Court said that Article 19, 21 and 22 are mutually exclusive. However, it has said that all these articles are mutually exclusive but independent of each other. So this was the thing which Supreme Court has said in this case, and they have said that Article 19 shall not apply to a law affecting personal liberty. It is limited to those freedom which are mentioned in Article 19 only. Did you understand what I said? Anyone has any doubt?
So can you please
Please repeat, sir.
explain?
Okay, so this is Article 19, 21 and 22. So why 22 came into play? Because it talks about detention, right? And 20, it was challenged on the ground of 21 and 19 also. So he said that actually this law of preventive detention violates my rights under Article 19 as well as 21. So Supreme Court said no. And he also said that this term personal liberty, one thing he challenged on this ground on personal liberty, and second in on some ground of Article 19. So the court said that this personal liberty is totally different from the freedom given in Article 19. So they are actually independent. This 19 is not dependent on 21. So that is what court said. And court said that it cannot, those provision of 19 cannot be applied in case of detention. He said that it is actually curbing my personal liberty, and therefore on the ground of 19 it should be struck down. So court said 19 deals with different freedom and 21 deals with different one, so they are different from each other. That's what court has said in this thing. And all these things has been said. Thereafter what happened, that Manka Gandhi case comes. So, but before that, I want to discuss this due process concept with you so that you can understand what it is. So, can you please tell me that, see, remember all these things, because in our GS2 syllabus, we have to read constitution from different countries also. We have to do comparative study it with Indian constitution. It is in the syllabus. Therefore, I am discussing. So, this due process of law. So, I want to ask, which provision of US constitution talks about due process of law? Anybody is free to answer it.
USA?
My question is that which provision of US Constitution, US means United States of America's Constitution, talks about due process of law? Anybody?
Sir, found in 5th and 14th Amendment to the Constitution, US Constitution, sir.
Okay, so Fifth Amendment of US Constitution talks about it, and it says that no person shall be deprived of his life, liberty, or property. Remember this thing. It talks about life, liberty, and property. But our constitution does not talk about property. Remember this thing. So this is one fundamental difference. Okay. Without due process of law. Now, what is this due process? What is this due? So due means just, proper, or reasonable. This is the meaning of due. Just, proper, or reasonable. Anyone has any question so far?
So can you please explain what does it mean that Article 21 and Article 19 is mutually exclusive?
I'll come on that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So, did you understand what is the meaning of this term due?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what happens that the court, when they are pronouncing any judgment, then they can see whether a law, if any law which is affecting a personal life, liberty, or process is reasonable or not. So court can examine this thing, and on the same ground, court may declare a law invalid if it does not accord with the notion of what is just and fair. Okay. Did you understand what I said? That court can declare any law invalid if it is not just and fair. So we are just talking about right now in we are talking about American concept. Okay, due process. So there are two types of process. One is substantive, and second one is procedural. So I have already discussed this thing with you. So one of you can tell me about it. What is substantive? Anybody?
Sir, it is what should be the laws.
Okay, yes, it's
Procedural
a,
is like the procedures for implementing the law.
yeah, there are two types of law. Say, for example, let's take example of IPC and CRPC. So IPC is substantive law and CRPC is a procedural law. IPC talks about the definition and punishment of various crimes. Okay, and CRPC talks about the procedure, that what should be the procedure, what procedure should be adopt, we should adopt what kind of procedure through which we can give punishment to this person. So it includes trial, witness, and how police can arrest. So a lot of things are there. Witness, this Evidence Act talks about witness. Okay, but that is also kind of procedural law. So did you understand what is substantive? That this IPC should be just. अगर आईपीसी में कोई भी ऐसा लॉ है जो अनजस्ट है, अनफेयर है, देन दैट कैन बी स्ट्रक डाउन. समझ में आ गया आपको?
सर
नाउ
प्रोसीजरल में नहीं होगा?
अभी प्रोसीजरल की बात कर रहे हैं. अब प्रोसीजरल में होता क्या है? प्रोसीजरल से अ रीजनेबल प्रोसीजर. नाउ इफ एनीवन कैन टेल मी व्हाट इज दिस रीजनेबल प्रोसीजर?
As per natural justice.
What?
As per natural justice, the law should be so.
Okay. Apart from anything, apart from it, anything else?
The one which is
It will have
accessible
to
by
like
all.
validate.
Yes, Neha.
The one which is accessible by all, like everyone can access it or follow it.
Dolly?
So it will mostly check for these two conditions, like do legislatures have power to make laws, and other one is that power compliant with natural justice?
Anybody else? Because I have already discussed this thing with you, therefore I am asking. Otherwise, I would have myself told it.
Not arbitrary.
It's kind of okay. It's kind of. So it says, if any person affected, then he should have fair rights of hearing. And what does it? What does the meaning of fair rights of hearing? Do you remember I said that the person should be served a notice? Second thing, opportunity to be heard. So here we are talking about natural justice. And an impartial tribunal, it means the court or judge should be impartial. He should not be biased. And fourth thing, orderly procedure. So these are the four elements, okay, of right of fair hearing. So remember this thing. Okay. Now another question is coming to my mind, and the question is that we have at least 10 times since we have started, we must have said the law should be just, reasonable, and fair. What is this just? Every time we are talking about just, but we are not talking about what is this just. So if anyone can explain me what is this just?
Must be ethical.
So it should not be biased towards certain section of people.
Sir, what is morally right and fair? Hello?
Yes, I am hearing. Go ahead.
What is morally right and fair? Or behaving according.
Anybody else?
That's it.
So that removes the chances of arbitrariness. The law which aims at humanizing decision making.
Actually, yes.
Legally, legally, it should be right action.
Yeah, actually, it's not a static or any rigid concept. It varies from situation to situation. So the court will decide what is this just. Okay. Did you understand? Because there is no clear-cut definition of just. Court will decide. For example, yesterday we have discussed that what is this reasonable restriction? It is on the court to decide. Similarly, what is this just law? It is on the court to decide. समझ में आ गया?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
हम्म, अब एक चीज मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ, इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में ड्यू प्रोसेस है कहीं?
No, sir.
बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर का पार्ट तो नहीं है।
Okay,
Initial.
I want to ask one question. So there was a draft constitution. So whether there was some term which is due process of law, whether it was mentioned in the draft constitution or not?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Sir, you have told a minute ago that in draft constitution that there was a term related to due process of law.
अभी मैंने बोला है, आप लोग सुन ही नहीं रहे हो। I said कि earlier it was in the draft constitution, however it was deleted from the original constitution once they have finalized it, and same reasoning was given by the Supreme Court that our constitution maker did not desire to include due process of law in our constitution, therefore this term due process had been deleted from the constitution. ओके, तो इतना समझ में आया आपको? ड्यू प्रोसेस समझ में आ गई क्या है ड्यू प्रोसेस?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what is due process? Okay, now one more thing we can say in one line if we have to say for due process: fair hearing. अगर वन लाइन में आपको किसी को बताना हो तो आप बता सकते हो ये चीज। अब हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे, नाउ वील टॉक अबाउट व्हाट इज दिस प्रोसेस एस्टेब्लिश्ड बाय लॉ। ये समझ में आ गया ना आपको इतना?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
देखो अभी आप लोग समझ लो, ये आपको ना तो लक्ष्मीकांत में मिलेगा और ना कहीं मिलेगा, इतना मैं बता सकता हूँ।
Sir, Lakshmikant is not a Bible.
Procedure established by law. So till now we are talking about only A.K. Gopalan case. Remember this thing, okay? So
Sir.
in this case, yes.
Sir, if it is not in the constitution, then why we are making this concept for so many cases as a base?
अब हम उसी पे आ रहे हैं, आप थोड़ा सा इंतजार करो उसका।
Okay, sir.
ठीक है, तो then in A.K. Gopalan the Supreme Court said the expression procedure established by law meant the procedure as laid down in the law as enacted by the legislature and nothing more. समझ में आया क्या कहा? कि बस कुछ नहीं है, एक लॉ है जो कि इनेक्ट किया गया है लेजिस्लेचर के द्वारा, ये इन्होंने बोला था A.K. गोपालन केस में। समझ में आ गया? It is just merely a
Yes, sir.
law which was enacted by the parliament, nothing more. This is what
But-
Supreme Court has said in A.K. Gopalan case. समझ
But
में आ गया
why?
आपको?
But why?
अभी आएंगे क्यों कहा था, ठीक है? क्योंकि वो ड्यू प्रोसेस नहीं लेना चाहते थे, इसलिए उन्होंने कहा था। आपने अगर जो स्टार्टिंग में मैंने स्टार्ट किया था, अगर आपने वो सुना होता तो वही इसका आंसर था कि क्यों बोला था। Okay, so what court said to deprive a person of his life or personal liberty? First thing, the court said that there must be a law. Second thing, that it should lay down the procedure. And third thing, the executive should follow this procedure while depriving a person of his life and personal liberty. अब इसमें सब कुछ तो नेगेटिव है, बट इसमें कुछ पॉजिटिव भी है। कोई मुझे बताएगा कि पॉजिटिव क्या है? व्हाट इज द पॉजिटिव इन इट? Simply, court said, once again I am repeating, court said to deprive a person of his life or personal liberty, there must be a law. Second thing, it should lay down the procedure. And third thing, the executive should follow procedure while depriving a person of his life और पर्सनल लिबर्टी। तो इसमें कोर्ट ने किसके ऊपर रेस्ट्रिक्शन लगाई है, कोई बता सकता है मुझे?
सॉरी, यूथनेशिया।
Executive.
यस, उन्होंने कहा कि नाउ एग्जीक्यूटिव कैन नॉट डिप्राइव अ पर्सन ऑफ हिज लाइफ और पर्सनल लिबर्टी विदाउट बीइंग ए लॉ इन अ प्लेस। ओके, अगर कोई लॉ नहीं है तो फिर एग्जीक्यूटिव कुछ नहीं कर सकता है उस पर्सन का, ये उन्होंने बोल दिया था। तो जो एग्जीक्यूटिव की पावर्स थी उसको एक तरीके से कर्व कर दिया गया था। इतना समझ में आया आपको?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now we'll talk about Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India. So this is very much important, and that is Anuj. This will answer your question. कोई बताएगा मनेका गांधी वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया केस के बारे में?
सर
सर मैं
यस स्वाति।
सर पासपोर्ट सीज हुआ था अंडर पासपोर्ट एक्ट, बट रीजन ने बताया था। तो ऐसी सेज की पीबीएल मतलब प्रोसीजरल एस्टेब्लिश बाय लॉ फॉलो है, बट पासपोर्ट एक्ट व्हिच इज नॉट गिविंग द रीजन, सो इट्स अनफेयर। सो देयरफॉर फर्स्ट टाइम एवर एससी यूज ड्यू प्रोसेस ऑफ लॉ।
नहीं, मैं तो कहूंगा कि उन्होंने रीजन दिया था। आपको बताऊं क्या हुआ था?
यस सर।
कि एक सेक्शन 10(3)(c) है पासपोर्ट एक्ट का, एंड एक्चुअली इट ऑथोराइज द पासपोर्ट अथॉरिटी टू impound a passport if it thinks that it is necessary in the interest of sovereignty and integrity of India and the security of India, friendly relation of India with any foreign country और इन द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ जनरल पब्लिक। अभी कुछ हमने ग्राउंड्स डिस्कस किए थे, तो किस आर्टिकल में कल हमने ग्राउंड्स डिस्कस किए थे? Yesterday only we have
19.
yes, when we were discussing article
19 part 2.
19(2), then only we have discussed all these ground. So these were the ground, and then what happened that Maneka Gandhi's passport was impounded by the central government under the Passport Act, and they have given reason that it is in the interest of general public. तो आप बोल रही थी रीजन नहीं दिया था, रीजन तो दिया था कि it is in the interest of general public. Then Maneka Gandhi filed a writ and she challenged this order on the ground of violation of her fundamental rights under Article 21. And actually, you know what she said? She said this order should be null and void, as it had been made without affording her an opportunity of being heard in her defense. समझ में आया कि उसको बिना एक अपॉर्चुनिटी बिना सुने हुए इसको इम्पाउंड कर दिया। समझ में आया? ये एक बहुत बड़ा मेन ग्राउंड था, एंड इट टॉक्स अबाउट प्रिंसिपल ऑफ नेचुरल जस्टिस। तो हमारा जो ए.के. गोपालन तक का केस चल रहा था, वहां सुप्रीम कोर्ट सेड दैट वी डू नॉट because this principle of natural justice is quite vague and abstract, and we cannot consider it. However, this time she said that I was not given the opportunity to be heard in my defense, and therefore the order should be null and void. समझ में आया आपको?
यस सर।
अभी कोर्ट में क्या हुआ कि इसको केयरफुली सुनना, क्योंकि आप अगर ऐसे कुछ क्वेश्चन आ गया ना मेंस में, बिकॉज फॉर प्री इट्स ओके, इतना आप सुनने के बाद आपका प्री का क्वेश्चन कोई गलत नहीं होगा। हाँ, बट मेंस में भी अगर आ जाएगा तो आप आसानी से लिख सकते हो इसको, बहुत आसानी से। सो कोर्ट सिंपली सेड दैट आर्टिकल 14, 19 and 21 are not mutually exclusive. There is a nexus. आप अनुज आप पूछ रहे थे क्वेश्चन, तो मैं वही आंसर कर रहा हूं। तो कोर्ट ने कहा ये म्यूचुअली एक्सक्लूसिव नहीं है, इनके बीच में एक संबंध है। देयर इज अ नेक्सस बिटवीन दीज 3 आर्टिकल्स, एंड द कोर्ट सेड दे आर इंटरलिंक्ड। समझ में आया इतना?
यस सर।
अब मैं आपको बताता हूं कैसे। जैसे नाउ लेट्स टॉक अबाउट आर्टिकल 21 and 19. So if a law which is prescribing a procedure for depriving of personal liberty has to meet the requirement of article 19 also. तो आपको एक चीज मैं बताता हूँ कि अगर कोई ऐसा लॉ है जो बनाया गया है which is depriving the personal liberty of any person, okay, then it has to be tested on the ground of Article 19 also. अगर ये 19 को वायलेट कर रहा है तो इसको, उस पार्ट को, उस लॉ को, उस ऑर्डर को स्ट्राइक डाउन किया जा सकता है। समझ में आया?
जी
इसके
सर।
बाद उन्होंने ये भी बोला कि उस लॉ को वी विल टेस्ट ऑन आर्टिकल 14 ऑल्सो। सो 14, 19 अगर कोई लॉ है तो सिर्फ आप ये नहीं कहेंगे कि ये 21 का वायलेशन नहीं है, दे विल टेस्ट ऑन द ग्राउंड ऑफ 19 ऑल्सो एंड 14 ऑल्सो। तब डिसाइड होगा कि ये है कि नहीं। अगर 14 वायलेट कर रहा है, 19 वायलेट कर रहा है तो उसको हटा दिया जाएगा। समझ में आ गया?
यस सर।
And one more thing that actually this term person, हाँ किसी को कुछ पूछना है? So we were talking about personal liberty also. So in the case of personal liberty also, Supreme Court said that actually personal liberty should not be, read in a narrow sense. Okay, and it should not be restricted to some one article or two article. It should be actually, the court should try to widen the scope of personal liberty. जितना दूर तक जा सकता है उतना दूर तक जाएगा। और उसी की वजह वजह से जो हमने राइट टू प्राइवेसी है ना, उसको फंडामेंटल राइट बनाया है, इसी आर्ग्यूमेंट की वजह से।
Yes, sir.
So anybody can tell me about right to privacy? Anybody?
Sir, in K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India judgment, a nine bench declared that right to privacy is a part of life and liberty, and it and held that privacy एक एब्सोल्यूट राइट नहीं है, लेकिन राइट टू प्राइवेसी एक आर्टिकल 21 के अंडर आती है सर।
Okay, so in the case of K.S. Puttaswamy, the Supreme Court said that right to privacy forms the part of personal liberty. Therefore, this is fundamental right, and this thing was said in Maneka Gandhi case, that the court has said the attempt of the court should be to expand the reach and ambit of fundamental rights rather than attenuating them to their just literal meaning. So that is why the court has this argument also was given in this case, K.S. Puttaswamy, and court has considered this argument, and therefore right to privacy has become पर्सनल लिबर्टी। अदरवाइज कुछ केस थे, एक एमएल शर्मा वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया था, कुछ खरक सिंह करके एक केस था, तो कहीं सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बोल दिया इट्स अ फंडामेंटल राइट, somewhere they have said it's not a fundamental right, but in case Puttaswamy case they have said yes, it is the fundamental right. समझ में आ गया आपको? अब हुआ क्या, मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट चीज, कि जो मनेका गांधी केस था इसमें सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक चीज और बोली थी। सो माय वन क्वेश्चन इज दैट वेदर राइट टू ट्रेवल अब्रॉड is a fundamental right or not, and it will be answered by Ina. Ina, can you hear me? Dharini?
Sir, it is there, sir.
Under which article?
Under 14 or under 21 only.
Yes, it is a fundamental right under Article 21, and Supreme Court has given this judgment in the case of Maneka Gandhi case itself. In that case only, the court has said that right to travel abroad falls under Article 21. Okay, now the reinterpretation of procedure established by law came in this case. AK गोपालन में हमको पता है कि क्या बोला था, सिंपल सिंपल चीजें बोल दी थी कि भाई एक लॉ होना चाहिए, प्रोसीजर स्टेब्लिश्ड बाय लॉ को बोल दिया था कि एक लॉ होना चाहिए, लॉ जो है एक प्रोसीजर ले डाउन करे और उसके बाद में एग्जीक्यूटिव उसको फॉलो करे अगर किसी को if one has to deprive if the authority has to deprive anybody from his life or personal liberty. But यहाँ पे उसका reinterpretation हुआ, the court has interpreted again, and court simply said that the procedure must satisfy certain requisite in the sense of being fair and reasonable. समझ में आया? तो जो law है, the law which was enacted by the parliament, it should be fair and reasonable. So now you can connect it with the due process of law. Can you connect it? Procedure established by law. So in this case, the court has said that it should be fair and reasonable, and the court said the procedure cannot be arbitrary, unfair, or unreasonable. And in this case itself, the court has assumed the power to adjust the fairness and justness of procedure established by law to deprive a person of his personal liberty. So in nutshell, we can say that the procedure in Article 21 must be right and just and fair, and it should not be arbitrary, fanciful, oppressive, or otherwise. So remember these terms. These 6 terms are very important. अगर आपको कभी भी कुछ लिखना हो, अगर आपको कोई चीज पूछ ले ना, कोई नॉर्मल क्वेश्चन भी पूछ ले और अगर आपको कुछ चीज समझ में नहीं आ रही है, then what you can do, you can give citation of Article 21 and you can simply say it should, you don't need to give your judgment, you don't need to say whether it's a right, just, and this and that. What you can say that it should be right, just, and fair. Okay, so these 3 terms are there: right, just, and fair. Other 3 are arbitrary, so you can note them down: fanciful or oppressive. These 6 terms are there. So these 3 terms are a do's है, ये होना चाहिए, a don't, ये नहीं होना चाहिए, ठीक है, do's and don'ts. So it should not be arbitrary, fanciful, or oppressive. However, it should be right, just, and fair. इतना समझ में आ गया?
Yes, sir.
Now I have a question for you. अब देखो, अगर यूपीएससी ने डीप थोड़े क्वेश्चन पूछना शुरू किया, क्योंकि जितने इजी क्वेश्चन है पूछ चुके हैं वो लोग इन सब कॉन्सेप्ट पे, तो वो ऐसे या तो एप्लीकेशन बेस्ड क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे या कुछ ऐसा पूछ लेंगे किसी ने कुछ कहा हो इस आर्टिकल के बारे में. दिस काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन दे लास्ट. सो वन क्वेश्चन इज that the procedural Article 21 is a procedural Magna Carta protective of life and liberty. Who said this?
So can you please repeat again?
Article 21 as the procedural Magna Carta protective of life and liberty.
Sir, B.R. Ambedkar?
No.
Krishnaswamy Iyer?
Yes. Justice Iyer said he was Supreme Court judge and he was one of the finest judge in the Indian judicial history. He said this. अगर किसी को कुछ बहुत ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट हो और कुछ बहुत ही अच्छा लैंग्वेज पढ़नी हो या कुछ जुडिशियल वो पढ़ना है, तो जस्टिस अय्यर की 2-3 जजमेंट पढ़ लो, आप खुद ही वो क्या कहते हैं, शेक्सपियर बन जाओगे. So we are done with Article 21. If anyone has any question, then you can ask. Otherwise, we'll discuss Article 22.
Sir?
हाँ जी नेहा.
Article 14, 19 or 21, they are not mutually exclusive. They have nexus, right?
नो आई सेड वो पहले जजमेंट में बोला था, लेकिन जो फाइनल है ना वो तो ओवर रूल हो गया।
Okay.
वो जो
तो
जजमेंट था ना, हाँ, तो अभी हमको कहना है कि दे आर म्यूचुअली एक्सक्लूसिव एंड देयर हैज अ नेक्सस एंड दे आर इंटरलिंक्ड।
Okay, and which one are not mutually exclusive? वो बोला था फर्स्ट जजमेंट में, right?
हाँ, फर्स्ट एक गोपालन में बोला था।
Okay. Thank you.
Now we'll talk about Article 22. So Article 22, the headline says protection against arrest and detention in certain cases. Now I want to ask,
Sir,
yes, Sanuj.
sir, if someone is wanted to take his life, like we know the concept of euthanasia, then is there any margin that been saved under this article?
नो, इंडिया में कहाँ यूथेनेसिया लीगलाइज्ड है, इसीलिए तो
पैसिव यूथेनेसिया है शायद।
नहीं है, इंडिया में किसी भी टाइप का नहीं है, ना एक्टिव ना पैसिव।
सर इन मार्च 2018 सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने रूल
हाँ,
किया था।
एक जजमेंट था अन्ना सानुबाग का, मुझे अभी याद आ रहा है। उस केस में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अलाउ किया था, सो दैट वाज द फर्स्ट टाइम
पैसिव
यूथेनेसिया। हाँ, इमजा ने ठीक बोला।
अंडर
अभी मुझे याद आया कि अन्ना सानुबाग वाला जो केस था उसमें वो एक नर्स थी, तो उस केस में पैसिव यूथेनेसिया को अलाउ किया था। सो दैट हैपेंड फर्स्ट टाइम इन द हिस्ट्री ऑफ इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन।
तो मतलब अलाउड है ना सर?
हाँ, पैसिव यूथेनेसिया है, बट बहुत सारे प्रोसीजर हैं उसके।
They need to take
Okay, sir.
orders
Okay.
from court, then only they can practice.
In this case only, Anna Sanubhag case, it had happened. So now we'll talk about Article 22. So we were talking about that protection against arrest and detention in certain cases. So my first question is that what is this detention and what is this arrest?
Detention means
हाँ नहीं हाँ
detention means that
Detention.
the person is not accused of crime, but there is suspicion over him. Whereas in arrest, the person is charged for the crime.
Yes, exactly. So this is the simple difference. अभी आपको कई बार पूछा जाता होगा जब भी आप कुछ फॉर्म वॉर्म भरते होगे, हैव यू एवर अरेस्टेड? तो अगर आपके ऊपर कोई एफआईआर दर्ज हुई हो, फिर पुलिस ने आपको भले ही अरेस्ट नहीं किया हो, वो सिर्फ आपको एक बार कुछ एक जो देयर बेल होती है वहाँ जो पुलिस में ही हो जाती है, ठीक है, तो पुलिस स्टेशन से बेल हो जाती है। अगर उसके लिए भी आपसे एक बॉन्ड भरवाया है तो आप कंसिडर करना कि अरेस्ट हुई, और उसको हमेशा फॉर्म में यस लिखना। So now we'll talk about Article 21, and it says that any person who is arrested cannot be detained in the custody without being informed of the ground of any such arrest or of any such arrest. Okay, so my first question is that, say for example, this is Mr. X and he got arrested at 8:15 p.m. तो इसको अरेस्ट के बाद ग्राउंड बताया जाएगा या अरेस्ट से पहले?
Sir,
What
arrest के
time
बाद।
will... हाँ, exactly. So this procedure talks about after the arrest, immediately, as soon as possible. Okay. And एक केस है DK बासु वर्सेस वेस्ट बंगाल। अगर आप प्रिजनर्स के ऊपर या कुछ इस तरीके अरेस्ट के ऊपर या पुलिस के ऊपर कभी कोई केस आ जाए तो इस केस को जरूर कोट कर देना आप। अगर कोई क्वेश्चन आए जो प्रिजनर्स राइट के ऊपर या ह्यूमन राइट या इस तरीके से, इट टॉक्स अबाउट ह्यूमन राइट ऑल्सो, कि जो अरेस्ट से रिलेटेड गाइडलाइंस है ना, सो इट टॉक्स अबाउट दोज गाइडलाइंस DK बासु वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ बंगाल। बस इसमें लिख देना कि इट इज़ अ लैंडमार्क जजमेंट एंड विच talks about which has provision regarding the arrest and लोगों की लिबर्टी को सेव करने के लिए इस तरीके से जो भी थोड़े मन में फैंसीफुल आए वो लिख देना बस। इसको कोट जरूर कर देना, आपको एक एक्स्ट्रा मार्क 100% मिलेगा। इसके बाद एक सेक्शन जो है 50A ऑफ CRPC वाज आल्सो इंक्लूडेड इन CRPC and in one case Supreme Court also said that a detained person should know the cause of his detention and he is entitled to let any third person know the location of his detention। ठीक है, इतना समझ में आ गया?
Yes, sir.
अभी
Sir, what's the name of that case?
इतना इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है। फर्स्ट केस इज इम्पोर्टेंट, दैट इज DK Basu वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ वेस्ट बंगाल। अरेस्ट से रिलेटेड था, ठीक है, इसको याद रख लेना। नाउ वील टॉक अबाउट राइट टू बी डिफेंडेड बाय ए लॉयर ऑफ हिज ओन चॉइस। सो विच आर्टिकल टॉक्स अबाउट इट?
22.
Yes, 22 talks about, and which clause?
So clause 1.
Yes. Clause 1 talks about, it says that arrested person has the right to consult at all times and be defended by a lawyer of his own choice. And this actually, he gets this right immediately after getting arrested. I want to ask one thing.
Sir,
हाँ,
if lawyer is doesn't want to work for him, then will he charge a case that this is my fundamental right, but you are not helping me?
then court appoints it. वैसे बहुत सारी लीगल एड कमेटीज एंड ऑल हैं, तो वहां से वो करवा देते हैं। अदरवाइज कोर्ट डायरेक्ट्स। आपके पास एक, आपने इसका केस अजमल आमिर कसाब का केस सुना होगा, है ना?
Yes,
तो
yes.
अजमल आमिर कसाब के केस में क्या हुआ था कि उसने कहा था कि मुझे जो है एडवोकेट प्रोवाइड किया जाए, एंड ही सेड कि द एडवोकेट शुड कम फ्रॉम द पाकिस्तान। सो द कोर्ट सेड द एडवोकेट कैन नॉट कम फ्रॉम द पाकिस्तान, हाउएवर द कोर्ट हैज प्रोवाइडेड, क्योंकि उसका केस कोई ले ही नहीं रहा था, कोई भी वकील एग्री नहीं था। सो एक नाउ वन क्वेश्चन आई वांट टू आस्क, दैट राइट टू फ्री लीगल एड इज अ फंडामेंटल राइट और नॉट?
DPS.
Is fundamental right, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It comes under Article 21.
21.
Remember this thing, it's a fundamental right also. And which DPSP talks about it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Article
so
57.
I want to ask that which DPSP talks about it also. There's a
39A.
provision,
37A.
not 37A.
39A.
39.
39. Sorry,
Yes,
sir,
13,
39.
yes, 39A talks about it. And the court has said that it is the constitutional obligation to provide free legal aid to every indigent person under trial, okay? But it doesn't fall under Article 22, it falls under Article 21. And there is a, okay, so I want to ask one question, that whether Supreme Court has the power to enact a DPSP into a fundamental right?
So I think no.
तो ये तो DPSP था, इसको सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने फंडामेंटल राइट बना दिया।
Judiciary has only the job of interpreting the constitution, not enacting the provisions or making rules for the constitution.
But judiciary do take the help of DPSP for widening the scope of liberty.
आप लोगों ने ये आर्टिकल पढ़ा कि नहीं पढ़ा, ये बताओ।
Yes, sir.
हाँ, तो जुडिशरी कुछ भी कर सकती है इस आर्टिकल के अंदर, याद रखना। और ये यूपीएससी ने पूछा भी था, कब पूछा मुझे नहीं याद, इसी साल पूछा या लास्ट ईयर पूछा था, बट पूछा था। ठीक है, तो एक्चुअली यू कैन नॉट गो टू सुप्रीम कोर्ट एंड आस्क सुप्रीम कोर्ट टू इन्फोर्स द फंडामेंटल राइट। हाउएवर द कोर्ट हैज द पावर टू इनेक्ट any DPSP into a fundamental right. समझ में आया कि कोर्ट कर सकता है कि वो कोई DPSP हो उसको फंडामेंटल राइट बना सकता है. उसमें देखो डायरेक्ट नहीं होता है, थोड़े बहुत चेंजेस होते हैं, बट द कंटेंट इज सेम. नाउ
So,
यस
hello, sir.
गार्गी. हाँ गार्गी.
Sir, can judiciary censor speech also?
ऐसे जुडिशरी नहीं कर सकती है इसमें इस तरीके से. ये चीज मतलब जुडिशरी के उसमें स्पीच सेंसर करना तो जुडिशरी के उससे बाहर आ गया ना. एक वो चीज हो गई कि दैट इज डूइंग गुड फॉर एवरीबॉडी. ओके, इफ द कोर्ट हैज इनेक्टिंग एनी डीपीएसपी इनटू फंडामेंटल राइट, उसको एक डीपीएसपी को फंडामेंटल राइट की तरह ट्रीट कर लिया कोर्ट ने. वो कह दिया नाउ इट इज अ फंडामेंटल राइट अंडर आर्टिकल 21 बिकॉज what power court has, the court can interpret things. So article 142 say that in order to complete justice the court can pass any order, these kind of things say. This article says. तो कोर्ट ने कहा कि चलो अभी कंप्लीट जस्टिस है, लोगों के साथ इतनी दिक्कतें हो रही हैं, बहुत सारी चीजें हो रही हैं, तो कोर्ट कर देता है. अब आपको एक जजमेंट याद होगा कि एक जो लेकर शॉप है, तो कोर्ट ने कह दिया था इतनी रोड के इतनी दूरी तक नहीं होना चाहिए. वैसे तो वो कोर्ट का काम नहीं है, बट जनरली तो कोर्ट कर ही रहा है ना, एक लिमिट
Yes, sir.
डिसाइड कर दी थी. तो करने को तो कुछ भी हो सकता है. दैट इज व्हाई आई सेड कि कोर्ट कैन डू एनीथिंग, बट इन जनरल कोर्ट डजंट डू. दैट इज कॉल्ड, उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं अगर कोर्ट एग्जीक्यूटिव का काम कर रहा है तो?
Sir, judicial overreach.
यस एग्जैक्टली. नाउ we'll talk about
Okay, sir.
right to be produced before a magistrate. So which article talks about it? Animes.
Sir, 22 subclause 2.
Yes, 22 subclause 2 talks about it, right to be produced before a magistrate. So it says that when, if any person has been arrested by the police officer. Okay, before this, I have one more question. This is police officer and this is some other person. So can, apart from police officer, can any other person make a arrest? This is my question. Can any other person make arrest? This is question. Nivedita Singh. Preeti Yadav. Imja.
So I'm not sure. No, I don't know the answer.
आप लोग थोड़ा, जब आपसे कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछे जाए ना, तो आप अपने आसपास थोड़ी की घटनाएं याद रखा करो, थोड़ा कुछ आसपास हुआ हो, अवेयरनेस हुई हो. आपने कभी सुना है कि आर्मी ने एक पर्सन को अरेस्ट किया है? ये चीजें आपने सुनी है कि आर्मी ने एक आतंकवादी को अरेस्ट किया है या सीआरपीएफ ने किया है, इस
ऐसे वो
तरीके से
मार
सब
देते
चीजें?
हैं, अरेस्ट करते हैं क्या?
अरे ये सब बातें नहीं करनी है हमको कि वो मार देते हैं कर देते हैं, बट अरेस्ट भी करते हैं ना.
Sir, I mean,
ये आपने सुना होगा ना कि आर्मी ने एक अरेस्ट किया, अरेस्ट करके वो क्या करते हैं, पुलिस स्टेशन भेज देते हैं. सो अपार्ट फ्रॉम पुलिस ऑफिसर, इफ एनी अदर पर्सन हु इज ऑथोराइज्ड to make arrest, then they can also arrest. So it's not only police officer, anyone can make a arrest. However, that person should be authorized. समझ में आ गया ये चीज? इसको आप लोग याद
Yes, sir.
रखना.
sir, NIA officer arrests.
अरे वो एनआईए के ऑफिसर सब पुलिस वाले होते हैं. वो all of them are police officer. NIA is agency of, basically a specialized agency of police only, like the way CBI is. इतना चीज समझ में आ गया आपको?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is the timeline beyond which a person cannot be kept in the detention?
24 hours.
24 hours excluding the journey time.
Yes, excluding the journey time. So remember this thing.
Sir, including journey time.
No, it's excluding journey time.
Yes, it excludes. Now, can anyone explain what is Article 22(3)?
If a
Yes.
person, yes, if a person is being arrested and if a magistrate think that the person cannot be detained under further detention, then he must be released after 24 hours.
Authorized by the magistrate, actually. The period for which his detention was authorized by the magistrate.
Okay. Anybody else?
The detention period should not be more than 3 months.
वो इसमें बात नहीं करते हैं.
22(3) talks
Sir,
about
22(3) says
detention.
that. No, sir, 22(3) says that it will not be applicable to enemy aliens and
Yes.
also for persons who are arrested under preventive detention.
Exactly. So it says that if any person who is enemy alien, then it is not actually applicable for him. And second thing, what does it say? It says that if any person who is arrested or detained under any law that's providing preventive detention. तो अगर आपको किसी लॉ के अंदर अरेस्ट किया है, then you cannot claim impunity under Article 21 and 22(1) and 22(2). You cannot. Okay. So remember this thing. अभी जो था, अगर आपको, do you want me to discuss all these preventive detention laws? काफी interesting है. If you want, then we
Yes,
can
sir.
discuss.
Yes, sir.
सो अच्छा, कौन सा केस था जहां पे प्रिवेंटिव डिटेंशन एक्ट 1950 चैलेंज हुआ था?
Gopalan case.
Gopalan case, AK Gopalan case.
Yes, in AK Gopalan case it was challenged and तो इसके बाद क्या हुआ कि ये एक्सपायर हो गया. इसके एक्सपायर होने के बाद एक दूसरा लॉ आ गया, फिर उसके बाद NSA आ गया, नेशनल सिक्योरिटी एक्ट आ गया. ठीक है. और एक केस था AK रॉय वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया केस. तो कोर्ट में केस ने कहा कि इट्स नॉट अबाउट आर्टिकल 21, it's not about Article 22, and all this detention are subject to open to scrutiny under Article 14, 21 and 19. So this is what in AK Roy versus Union of India case court said कि अगर किसी को डिटेंशन हुई है तो हम देखेंगे कि 14 का वायलेशन तो नहीं हो रहा है, 21 का तो नहीं हो रहा है एंड 19 का तो नहीं हो रहा है. We will not only check 22, we will check all these things also. ठीक है. बाकी मतलब मुझे नहीं लगता कि
रिपीट कर दीजिए सर वंस.
Yes, so in AK Roy versus Union of India case, Supreme Court has said that it is not, if some, say for example, this is Mr. X, he got detained by Mr. Bai, who is a police officer. So he said that you are violating my fundamental right. Okay, you are not telling me the ground and all. Okay, and you are curbing my freedom and all. So it is not only 22. He can challenge his detention under Article 14, 21 and 19. और अगर इन तीनों में से किसी का भी वायलेशन हो रहा है तो वो डिटेंशन अनलॉफुल हो जाएगी. याद रखना ये चीज. समझ आ गया?
यस सर.
ठीक है. तो वो मतलब जो डिटेंशन लॉज है ना, वो इतने इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. ऐसे मेंस के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट हो सकते हैं बट प्रीलिम्स के लिए भी उतने इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, तो अभी हम उनको नहीं डिस्कस करते हैं. बट मैं आपको उनके नेम बता देता हूँ. 2-3 हैं, जैसे कि टेररिस्ट एंड डिसरप्टिव एक्टिविटीज एक्ट 1987, टाडा किससे रिलेटेड? आपको कुछ चीज याद है? किसी को भी कुछ?
संजय दत्त. Sorry.
Sanjay Dutt. Okay. And another was this National Security Act, NSA. तो NSA अभी is there? I mean, is it in the existence or not? NSA 1980.
Yes, sir, and widely used by UP government.
Okay. And TADA?
TADA is not, sir.
No, sir.
What about Prevention of Terrorism Act 2002?
That was also repealed.
It was also repealed, sir.
Okay, now we'll talk about 22.4, and it talks about the period of detention, that how long one person can be in the detention. So what is the duration?
3 months.
Can it be extended beyond 3 months?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The
Yes, sir.
parliament is decided according to the case.
Imza, do you have anything to say about it?
So, the person in custody, that no person shall be detained beyond the period authorized by the magistrate, but
Okay, so the maximum period is 3 months in the detention. But my question is that whether a person can be kept in the detention beyond this period, and if yes, then how, and if not, then why not?
Yes,
So
sir.
Yes. So how? So there is
sir,
a
advisory
Advisory body.
committee.
yeah. So there is a advisory bodies, and which if that body recommends, okay, this person should be kept in detention beyond 3 months, then that person will be kept, and if it is not, then that person will be free. And what does 22.5 talks about?
Sir, authority making order communicate to that person on which ground it is arrested or detained, and give earliest opportunity to make the representation against the order.
Okay. And what about 22.6?
It is not
Authority
important.
making any such order as is refers in that clause to disclose the facts to the authority.
Anybody else?
Consider consider against the public interest. Something like
Actually, it says that it is not mandatory for the authority, which is for detaining authority, to disclose any fact which it consider to be against the general public interest. Okay, so this is the simple thing it says. And what about Article 22.7? Anybody?
So Parliament so, so
अब
Parliament may by law decide these circumstances.
हाँ, अब एक्चुअली क्या है 22.7 एक तरीके से इट इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट रेग्रेसिव लॉ. सो व्हाट डज इट से कि एक एडवाइजरी बोर्ड था, और वो एडवाइजरी बोर्ड हमने किस आर्टिकल में पढ़ा था?
Article 22 clause 4.
यस, 22.4 टॉक्स अबाउट, इट सेज दैट जैसे ही उसके 3 मंथ कंप्लीट होने को आए, उससे पहले इस एडवाइजरी बोर्ड के पास को रिकमेंड करना पड़ेगा कि इसका 3 मंथ की बियॉन्ड करना है कि नहीं करना है. बट व्हाट 22.7 सेज, 22.7 says that Parliament can make law, Parliament can supersede this advisory board, Parliament can make laws regarding that how it will conduct the procedure. So everything, I mean, 22.4 is superseded by 22.7. Ultimate power is given in the hand of पार्लियामेंट रिगार्डिंग दी डिटेंशन. तो अभी कोई डिटेंशन का लॉ लेके आ जाए तो भाई पार्लियामेंट के फिर वो 1 साल के लिए डिटेन करके रख सकते हैं, 2 साल के लिए कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, समझ आया आपको?
yes, sir.
yes, sir.
बस इतना ही था आर्टिकल 22 में. अब मुझे लगता है कि आज के लिए पर्याप्त हो गया है. तो अगर आप लोगों को रिवीजन करना है तो हम लोग रिवीजन कर सकते हैं, नहीं तो अभी इसको हम यहाँ एंड कर सकते हैं.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
हाँ बोलो.
Sir, what is the difference between arrest? I know the difference between arrest and detention, but I have read about the two type of detention, like preventive and punitive. Sir, उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा बताएं.
प्यूनिटिव आपका जो है ना वो एक तरीके से अरेस्ट हो गया, बस ये समझ लो. समझ गए?
Okay, sir, noted.
सर मतलब आपको जब पनिशमेंट दी जाती है, लाइक इफ द कोर्ट हैज प्रोनाउंस्ड पनिशमेंट ऑफ रिगरस इम्प्रिजनमेंट, तो उस वक्त जो आपको अरेस्ट करके लेके जाते
अरे
हैं, सो दैट इज
हाँ
प्यूनिटिव डिटेंशन,
हाँ
राइट?
एग्जैक्ट. होता क्या है कि आपको जो है, आपने क्राइम किया, क्राइम के लिए आपको पनिशमेंट मिली, तो जब आपको पनिशमेंट मिलती है तो फिर आपको अंदर ही रखा जाता है ना, और जब अंदर रखा जाता है तो वो आपकी प्यूनिटिव हो गई. समझ में आया? आप जेल के अंदर जो टाइम काटते हो वो आपका प्यूनिटिव डिटेंशन होता है. यू आर बीइंग डिटेन्ड जस्ट बिकॉज यू हैव गॉट दी पनिशमेंट. समझ में आया?
यस सर.
Okay, sir.
बस ये रहता है. बाकी दूसरा क्या पूछा था आपने?
Sir, preventive. We have
हाँ,
discussed about.
प्रिवेंटिव तो बहुत सिंपल है कि भाई लग रहा है कि आशुतोष जाके किसी को हंगामा कर सकते हैं, तो इनको, या आशुतोष जाके ऐसा भाषण दे सकते हैं कि वहाँ राइट्स हो जाएं या लोग भड़क जाएं या पब्लिक प्रॉपर्टी को नुकसान पहुंचा दे, तो आशुतोष को जाने नहीं दिया जाएगा स्पीच देने के लिए. उनको पहले ही अरेस्ट कर लिया जाएगा, डिटेन कर लिया जाएगा. दैट इज कॉल्ड प्रिवेंटिव डिटेंशन. So if there is any, I mean, if government foresees that this person can cause any harm in future, then that person can be kept in the detention. That is called, क्या बोलते हैं इसको? One is punitive, preventive, yes, preventive. हाँ.
सर फारूक अब्दुल्ला के केस में यही बताना.
अब हम लोग ये सब नहीं डिस्कस करेंगे किसके केस में क्या हुआ था.
So one more difference, like I found it, it is like important, like maximum like democratic constitutions have provisions for punitive detention.
Yes.
But not much for preventive.
But India is among, yes.
Yes. They apply only in emergency, whereas India is the only country that apply in normal and ordinary days.
अब एनए से तो किसी पे भी लग जाता है. तो ठीक है. ओके, सो
Sir, one more doubt I have.
Yes, Suraj.
Sir, does arrest in this article cover both civil and criminal?
It talks about mostly criminal. सिविल अरेस्ट थोड़े अलग तरीके के होते हैं. सिविल अरेस्ट कैसे होते हैं कि जब आपको कोई ऑर्डर दिया गया है, आपने उसको कंप्लाई नहीं किया है, तब वो आता है फिर.
तो जैसे इनकम टैक्स फेलियर का कोई केस है, उसमें होगा ये अप्लाई?
अब अगर वो क्राइम है तो होगा ना. अगर इनकम टैक्स में क्या होता है, आप टैक्स नहीं पे करना है, टैक्स छुपाना, दैट बिकम्स क्राइम. समझ में आ रहा है ना? वो तो क्राइम ही है ना, तो ऐसे नहीं कह सकते हम कि वो सिर्फ वो है.
But sir, in Lakshmikant, it is said that it does not cover this under the arrest on failure to pay the income tax. The arrest and detention.
It is called single nature.
देखो, व्हाट आई सेड, आप लोगों ने वो चीज नहीं समझी कि अगर कोई क्रिमिनल है एक्ट, ठीक है, अगर वो उसने टैक्स से, फॉर एग्जांपल कि एक लक्ष्मीकांत ने कुछ भी कह दिया तो ये सही नहीं होगा ना. मैं आपको एक सिंपल चीज समझा रहा हूँ. टैक्स, इफ यू आर नॉट पेइंग टैक्स एंड इफ इट इज अ क्राइम, then you'll be arrested. Okay, then you'll be covered under this article. If it is not crime and it's a ordinary arrest, then you will not be. चीज समझ में आई आपको? If anything is crime, then it will be covered under this thing, under 22, and if it is not, then it will not.
Okay,
so
sir.
it deals in criminal matters. Say for example, article 20, it doesn't deal with civil matters, it deals only criminals matter. Similarly in 22 also, आपको टैक्स नहीं दिया तो आपको प्रिवेंटिव डिटेंशन में थोड़ी रखेंगे किसी को. समझ रहे हो?
And sir,
हाँ.
And sir, one more thing, that when we discuss Article 39A, and you said that it covers all the citizens. So
No,
like
39A, I did not say that it covers all the citizens or what, because 39A is not about the citizen, it's about the state, that it's the duty of the state to provide uh, actually this
free legal aid.
free legal aid to people, okay, to a person. So the person can be anybody.
Sir, the person can be anybody. It means like each and every person, or it is like some.
Mostly it talks about indigent person, not everybody. It's talk about indigent person. फिर उसमें एक हमारे एक्ट भी है, शायद यूपीएससी ने एक क्वेश्चन भी पूछा था अभी रिसेंटली कि कितना इनकम होना चाहिए, क्या होना चाहिए.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. Okay, so do you want to revise or should we end it here?
Thank you, sir.
So my question is that, do you want to revise or should we end it here? Okay, then we'll end it here. Tomorrow we'll meet at 9:30 and we'll discuss some other topics. Till then, bye-bye, take care, good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good night, everybody.